Hey friend, all right, I gotta get in sport mode here because we're gonna talk about athletics as an example today of some coaching on compassion for yourself. So a while back, I posted a picture of a sign that said, "Your passion is not complete unless it's also shown to yourself." Are you compassionate to yourself? That's actually a really good question, and one that I want you to not only think of, but I want you to wrestle with it. I'm going to use my daughter, Ray, as an example here and just share with you the coaching conversation that we had last night. My kids, just like your partners, spouses, and the closest family members, are often the ones that want to take advice or wisdom from you the least. But I thought this has been too relevant lately. I need to share exactly how I coach when I recognize that someone is compassionate and kind to someone else, but has a very, very hard time with being compassionate for themselves. Whether that's because of perfectionism or you have just a hard time and you've never been taught how to love yourself or taught kind to yourself. But what's happening is last night, I can totally see so many people watching this mentally having the same games. But last night I'm watching Ray play a volleyball game. Every single girl is messing up on that court. Like they are doing a hard scrimmage game and every other hit is a mistake or they didn't complete the task, whatever it is. Ray was seeing everybody miss the ball, hit the net, go in another direction. And then when she would go up to them, she'd pat them on the back, say, "It's okay, like you can do it. Next time will be better." All these amazing, comforting, encouraging things that she's saying. All the teammates are giving each other high five when there's a mistake, encouraging each other. And then yet when she made a mistake, she was counting her mistakes. She was so discouraged by her own self-talk. She wasn't saying it out loud. She was not giving herself the same compassion that she was watching the other girls struggling. She was pouring out compassion to those that were struggling around her, yet not giving it to herself. If you are not giving that compassion to yourself, your compassion is incomplete. So let's look at that. Let's rewrite the script. And when we were on our way home from that, I thought, it makes life really, really hard when we are the only ones that are hard on ourselves, when we can give each other encouragement or give our friend encouragement or tell your kid that they're amazing, but we can't say that to ourselves, or we can't give ourselves that same grace. Hey, you failed yesterday at that thing or what you saw, or you could have done that better, but you know what, that's okay. You're growing, you're getting better all the time. You can do hard things, you can keep trying. The only way to fail is to quit and not show up again, but you keep showing up for yourself. I keep showing up for myself. I have grace when I have a hard day. I keep showing up for myself, and as long as you keep showing up for yourself, as long as you keep capturing that thought when it pops up, wherever you're hard on yourself, you capture that thought and you just go, no, that is not how I am going to think. Because if I'm going to give my sister next to me or my neighbor next to me or compassion to someone on the other side of the world that I'm sending money to because I feel so bad for their struggle, then I'm going to give that same thing for me. And that is not selfish. That's actually correct thinking, that you deserve compassion also because you are so loved also. So that same compassion that you give to others, I want you to practice giving it to yourself. And the only way that we do that is by recognizing when it's happening, capturing those thoughts, and replacing them with new positive thoughts of compassion that work for you. You cannot just say, "Oh, I'm not going to think that way." That is not how. It's like taking away food or that time that you spend doing something that is a bad habit for you. You have to replace the thought. You have to replace the thing. You have to replace the time spent doing something that's not working for you. When you replace it, every time you replace it with a positive thought or with compassion, you are hard rewiring your brain so that it is rewriting your script. You're writing a new neural pathway so that you can have that compassion for yourself. And when you have compassion for yourself, I was telling Ray, life is going to be so much more full of joy and so much easier, right? It might not be easier on like going to work or whatever the tasks that you have to do to survive. But most of the battles are in our head. And I will tell you, I've had zero money and I've had good money. I've had no house and I've owned no things but a hockey bag full of my belongings. And I've had a house with all the stuff that I bought with my own money. I've had both ways, and both situations I was joyful and happy, but that's because I was kind to myself. So whether you have everything or nothing, the way you feel is really in you. So that's my encouragement for you to learn how to have compassion for yourself. If you can learn how to love yourself and have that compassionate heart, giving yourself those grace when you have hard days, good days or bad days, you will have such a better life. And that's what we want. We want you to enjoy your everyday life. So I hope that you give yourself some love and compassion today. Bye.